many of you listening are going to college so that you can get a degree in order to get a higher paying job to get a better quality of life? And how many of you listening are just lifelong learners and are going to college just to learn? See, Merriam-Webster Dictionary defined a university as an institution of higher learning, and yet most people aren't here to learn. They're here to get a degree to get a better paying job. There was a report done by Georgetown University published on May 3rd, 2024 that said that 68% of all occupations in the US need at least some form of post-secondary education or additional training. And the US Department of Education said in a report in 2021 that predicted in 2027 at least 70% of all occupations in the US will need some form of post-secondary or additional training. And what this suggests is that as technology grows, the need for additional training will also need to continue to grow. And this leads to the current state of education within Idaho, which is the state of Idaho needs to update its curriculum to be more occupationally focused. See, in the article Raise the Bar, published by the Department of Education in 2021, it claimed to have recognized some of these growing problems within the US and even started to introduce a couple of programs. One is dual enrollment, which is where you can take college level courses and get college credits while you are still in high school, and the other is work-based learning programs, which is where participating companies introduce a on-the-job learning curriculum. And of the 28 states that are participating in these programs, Idaho is not one of them. And as a student who cares about education and will continue helping others achieve their education, this is important to me. There are three reasons why I think this needs to change. Information based on occupational growth and curriculums that focus on this tend to have a better quality of life, and they have less major debt. And the other thing is it introduces a form of not needing to force students into a certain education, and it'll fulfill needs, which therefore just goes more into having a better quality of life. And despite the general notion that this will take away overall knowledge and make students less knowledgeable, the whole reason that post-secondary education is needed is because jobs are becoming more and more complex and needing more and more knowledge. And so you have to have a general understanding of multiple subjects in order to actually participate in that occupation. And this just goes into how modern jobs are growing more and more complex as technology grows. And one example of this is elevators. There was an occupation revolved around just being an elevator operator where you would just help people go from floor to floor. But this has all been completely automated now, meaning that simple jobs aren't needed nearly as much. And in order to continue having a general education where you don't have to go into major debt, you have to have credentials before you leave high school. And in order to do that, you have to do things such as work-based learning, or there are even there are programs such as Job Corps that introduce having credentials and get your high school diploma, and it was originally introduced to help the Great Depression. There was an article published by the University of Tuskegee in 2020 stating that 80% of students change their degree at least once. And this suggests that students that are going to college don't actually know what it is that they want to do with their life. And it spends more time just spending money just trying to figure out what it is that you want to do. And the Department of Education in 2021 said that programs such as dual enrollment and work-based education, they have a better quality of life because they don't incur all that debt and they get lifelong experiences and figure out what it is that they want to do with their life. But I keep on saying quality of life, but what does it actually mean? And the National Center for Biotech Information in 2023 had defined many different qualities that go into having a quality of life. And it goes into a focused period of time of both positive and negative effects, things like physical, mental, your relationships, your education, your status, autonomy, work environment, and even your wealth all go into what your quality of life is made of. But in order to maintain that, all positive and negative factors have to be taken into account. And with high school always pushing college and always requiring an environment where there's a severe lack of time, where you acquire a major amount of debt, and overall is just an environment that doesn't fulfill everybody's needs, it poses a problem of constantly introducing an environment that is hurting people's quality of life. And with a variety of different students, it's not a cookie cutter solution. And if high school were to include training that is work-based and introduced a different style of occupation, such as trade-based programs, it would change your ability to be able to have a good quality of life, because trades don't take up as much time. They can be finished within roughly a month to a year, and they cost significantly less, with college costing tens of thousands of dollars, and you can still get a higher paying job that fulfills your need for different reasons. If you are not a lifelong learner, college might not necessarily be the best fit for you. And again, some people go back into that idea of general knowledge will be taken away. But again, going back into that notion of most jobs need secondary education because of the complexity of it, it really just means that you're incorporating your general knowledge into different ways that are useful. And with that being said, as the world changes, we also need to change with it.